Good afternoon, class. Today is the Chapter 6 presentation. Today you'll be hearing from myself, Harrison, Narita, Daniel, Shirley, Andres, and Dylan. When you're preparing a speech, there's 4 broad main ideas that you need to consider. You got to select and narrow your topic, determine your purpose, develop the central idea, and generate your main ideas. Now, in some cases, when you have to select and narrow the topic, it's already done for you. The professor may have already given you the topic and told you how long you have to present it. So in that case, your fate is pretty much sealed. But in the cases where that's not so, there are a couple things you need to consider. You need to consider the audience, who you're speaking to. You consider the occasion, when and where you're speaking, and yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the one doing the speech. Now, when you consider the audience, what I mean by that is this. When you're speaking, it is so vitally important to remember that you are speaking to a certain group of people. So when you're devising that topic and creating that speech, you have to consider them, because they are as much a part of it as you are. For every action, there is a reaction. So make sure you do it as such. The next thing you need to consider is the occasion. When and where I'm speaking. If I'm at a funeral and I'm delivering a eulogy, you're not going to see me cracking jokes back and forth all day. And when I'm at a cocktail party, you're not going to see me dragging them out with a sob story. The occasion is just as important, because with every occasion, people have a set of expectations as to what the speaker is going to say. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're selecting your topic. Now, the last thing you need to consider is yourself. When you're going up there and speaking, it is your job to captivate the audience, keep them entertained, and keep them listening. So when I go up there and I speak about something that I, number one, have no knowledge about, and number two, am not passionate in or emotionally invested in any way, it's going to be very hard for me to deliver a speech that's entertaining. It's going to keep their attention. So consider yourself, what you like, what your dislikes are, and try to go from there. Now, once you have those 3 things considered, you have to start getting it down on paper and figuring out what you're going to do. One of the exercises that you can use is brainstorming. Brainstorming is pretty simple. You get a piece of paper and you write down as many ideas as you can possibly think of. Don't think about it. Don't put any sort of, thought into it. Just write them down, get them on paper, because your mind will be clear, and that way you yield the best ideas. Now, listening and reading for a topic. It's pretty simple. While you go through your daily activities, you hear many conversations, and you watch many things on the television, or hear many things on the radio while you're commuting to work. Keep your eyes and your ears open. You'll never know what you'll hear in a passing conversation, and you'll never know what you see on TV or hear on the radio. So one of the good exercises to do throughout your daily activities is just to keep those eyes and those ears open for good ideas. Now, the last thing, and probably the most obvious thing, is to search web directories. It's a fancy way of saying go on and Google it. We live in a rapidly expanding technological world where we use the computer for virtually everything. So make sure you use every tool that's at your disposal. Put the time in, do the research, lay the foundation, and look up as many ideas as possible, because you never know what's going to be a good idea until you see it at least once. Now, for determining your purpose, I'd like to introduce Narita.
Writing a speech is just as difficult as going on stage and speaking in front of a whole bunch of people. Everybody has fears. We're all afraid of speaking in public. Now, the president, for instance, goes up and he speaks in front of everyone. And of course, when he first started, it was probably easy to him because he's a politician. But we aren't politicians, and it doesn't come easy. Now, today I want to teach everyone really how to narrow down your topic, as well as speaking clearly and the general purpose of Chapter 6. Now, narrowing down your topic, the most important thing that you need to know is a speaker, pretty much what you want your audience to hear. Now, if you have a broad topic, for instance, like television, which is really a very general topic, and you have to do it within 3 to 5 minutes, the best thing is really to write your general topic at the top of a list, like a web directory, and put what's the main point of the general topic. Now, narrowing down your topic is really not that easy, but if you make a list of each succeeding topic and put the points of it, you'll find out which main points of each topic is important. Now that you selected and narrowed down your topic, now we can get into the general purpose of your topic. There's three main purposes in each, three main common purposes to each public speaking. You have inform, persuade, and entertain. Now, when informing is really the general thing most people do, they're really there to just help you out. They're there to define or describe something or explain a certain topic. They're never there to persuade, even though they make you think, for instance, if I'm speaking to you about adoption, I'm not going to persuade you to adopt a child, but I am going to let you know how hard it is for kids who are in the adoption system. And that is one big thing that informative speakers do. They teach you things that you probably never knew. I know someone who made an informative speech about making signs. A lot of people didn't know how to make signs, but that's just what informative speakers do. Now, for persuasive speakers, on the other hand, they do persuade people, to change your view of things. The biggest persuasive speech that causes a lot of, changes in your brain is abortion. Now, some people are pro, some people are pro not, but someone who comes up here and is a persuasive speaker will let you know will make you think, am I pro-abortion or am I not pro-abortion? Now, the last but not least is entertainment. Entertainment, the speaker is really there to make you laugh or smile. My favorite entertaining speaker is definitely Kevin Hart. He does this thing to make everyone laugh. He can relate to everyone in the crowd. And really with doing that, it makes it more relatable. Now, most dinner speakers, for instance, attempt to entertain their guest speakers. But it's really pretty simple. You have the entertainers and you have persuaders and informative. And for the next person that's going to be coming up is Andres.
Thank you, Narita. Today, I'm going to be talking about defining your purpose and why it's important to have a direct purpose. It narrows the field of topics to discuss. You don't want to be talking about a bunch of things in one specific speech. You want to have a narrow topic so that you're not getting distracted and you're right on point. It also helps hold the audience's attention. If they see you going back and forth, talking about different things, they won't be as grasped to your speech. You also need to be aware of your audience, their interests, their expectations, their knowledge level, and that'll help you adapt to the speech that you're about to deliver. This guides the audience. When you have one purpose, it tells you it tells the audience what you're going to talk about, and it leads the audience towards a goal. They like to know where they're going, and you need to tell them where they're going to be. The second thing that's very important is having an intended behavioral objective. The importance of a behavioral objective is you want the audience to feel a certain way after they hear your speech. It directs the path so that the audience knows where they're going to go, and at the end they can feel a certain way about the speech. To form a behavioral objective, you're going to want to think about how you want your audience to feel at the end of your speech. You want to give the audience a goal again, so how they feel. Before, the specific purpose was what you're going to tell them, and this is how they're going to feel at the end of your speech.